You need me.
Okay, so yes, so I would love to start out by asking you this really wonderful question of how does reality work?
Well, thanks for having me again. Thanks for everybody that you guys participate. And it's a wonderful journey to experience these new beginnings together and helping each other out throughout the knowledge. So I appreciate your attendance, and whoever is watching the recording, I really appreciate you giving a chance to the new teachings and the new beginning, because for us to control our reality, you have to know the mechanics of your existence. Without knowing the alchemy of your creation, you won't be able to project, redirect, and construct any reality of your choosing. Is going to be random. And this is how, since you're talking about unlearning and letting the new structures come in, you have to understand where all the so-called manipulation came from, how every aspect of your life is basically a holographic expression of your consciousness. And once you understand all that is all connected with consciousness, is connected with quantum physics, it's basically one unit. Because every word, every thought, and every emotion could be measured by frequency, sound, light, cymatics, and becomes like a symphony of geometry. And you can measure that, and that's how you actually construct, deconstruct, and rebuild new platforms, new realities, new holograms, and new worlds. And that is the reason why I told everybody when they are watching the quantum given from the extraterrestrials and the high consciousness to study all that material, because it's fundamental to understand the connection between your higher self and consciousness, that you are it, that you are the realities, that you are God, you are, and there's nobody outside of you, but you're projecting a holographic expressions from your thoughts, emotions, and deeds at the same time, that they materialize and dematerialize accordingly to your choosing. So that is in a quantum manifestation series on my website. You can go all the way down and click there. I'm going to share a screen with that. Recently renamed everything, and it's not Marina Jacobi, but it's quantum manifestation. So this way is going to be a lot of other people around the world connecting, because I had actually nanoscientist from Germany contacted me. He was absolutely amazed of the information, but the only reason he found me because I had a quantum manifestation a couple of times in the wording. So this is how he found me. He wanted me to change everything so everybody can find me. So that's the reason I really appreciate he was a 24 years old genius. I was in shock when he called me, but he literally taught me how we should change everything so everybody can see it. Okay, construction of reality. Recently, I didn't post that information yet because I'm going to be starting with Billy Rod new series, second season of Quantum Manifestation. The first was with Joe Penna, and he still may come and help around sometimes with videos. And this series is going to start with cymatics of the words. And that's why if anybody wants to come to the webinars that will start after September, in September 2018, please study the first series first. Because we're talking quantum physics, and in order for you to understand the second level, it has to go through every single video, and you have to study it the way you study in college. I always said study like you're going to study in college to ace it, because when you present it in a situation, you're going to know exactly how to implement the structure in order to switch from one reality and construct another one. And it's a very specific protocol, because in the quantum structure of your creation, one particle out of place will give you a completely different structure. So that's why you need to know.
And Marina, just to clarify for those who don't know, those videos are all available on your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, and on my YouTube channel, you can also access them from my website, marinajacobi.com. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to show you, scroll down, and you're going to see Quantum Manifestation Series. And it's going to be from video 1 up to 14, actually, we did. I didn't know I did that many. So please, you have to study step by step with that. I strongly suggest that in order not to get lost in the information. But it's fundamental for everybody. I'm not asking you to do it. This is your own belief system, but it's presented in a way so everybody can understand it in front of a whiteboard, and it's easy to understand. The only thing you need to do is repetition, because they told me it takes 15 minutes the synapses to crystallize with the new frequencies, because every word that I speak is fifth-dimensional structure. That means it's going to rewire and basically activate your fifth-dimensional DNA structure. Because now with a new material that is coming, they were giving very complex words that I'm going to present in the scientific community pretty soon, that how is creating the word itself is cymatics, sequences light, and is creating, actually, I'm going to say it in an easy way, like a whirlpool that is spinning, and is creating a tunnel, portal, and that portal is opening different structures. That's why it's fundamental how we express and what we say with our mouth, because that is literally creating the portals around you and creating realities. And it's the tonality, and it's becoming, they said, like elastic. And this is the reason why you have repetition of fractal into the holograms of realities. I know this is a bit complex. I'm just putting it out there. And the reality, the way it's created, is created from basically the entire universe around you is sound and light, frequency, vibration. And when they combine in trinity structures, basically two similar lights on vibration are combining in plasma, and they create like a plasma, like a circle. And because they're similar in vibration, so they get together and started to pulsate and vibrate. And in the middle, because of that pulsation, they create a black hole. And the black hole actually is the 0 point, that is stillness of everything. Then you create something and you shift and create another hologram with that. And it's created with your thought. When you combine different vibrational thoughts and emotions into a plasma, because every emotion could be measured, that emotion that you have from the heart is a frequency vibration. So when you combine the thought with the vision in your mind, those two become plasma and gravitational field, including with the action. The action is infusing something that you end up feeling and thinking into a hologram. But in order that hologram to become a meta reality, you have to take an action. That's why when you want something to happen, you cannot wait for government to change. You need to change yourself. You need to take an action yourself in order to project a hologram that the government is doing something about it. Because you are the creator. And how is this happening? When you lower the vibrational sequence, the entire consciousness is created from one atom, for example, one particle. That particle in the consciousness expands to the infinite, to the entire universe, and collapses to the smallest, to infinite. So it never stops, and it's like a breathing, collapsing, breathing. Right in the middle, before from the expansion collapses, is the 0 point, and then goes into the infinite, to the smallest. Right in the middle is that stillness, that nothing is coming in, not because the decision has to be made what to collapse into. And that is from your thoughts and emotions. So basically, from your own consciousness, you're projecting everything in your universe that you see around you and collapse to the smallest of the particles, if you zoom in. And depending on the vibration of all these structures, then you see different realities. The way the TV has different channels. If you know the vibration of a specific channel, you know how to look at that TV station. But if you know the vibration, how you know it? From your thoughts and emotions, if they could be measured. So anything from the heart structure goes into fifth dimensional and above structures, basically realities that you're projecting based on your emotion, thoughts, and deeds. But you cannot see these realities of this expansion of consciousness if you do not resonate in a similar vibrational sequence to create this trinity structure plasma. So you will never see reality if you don't project and feel the vibration of it, if you don't know the vibration of it. So that's why you always need to take an action. And when you put your body under the electronic microscope, you don't see molecules, you see light. That's because we are the consciousness itself. You are the light, and you are God you are. Because when I think of something, I project right now every single one of you in my hologram. And that particle is vibrating in such a high speed that is projecting you and you and you and you. Basically, in reality, consciousness is projecting a holographic expression of the same molecule that is vibrating back and forth so quickly that it looks like it's next to itself to infinite. But in reality, that particle is projecting another version and another version and another version similar of me. So I can have an experience into 3 fifth dimensional structure of ascension because I've decided to experience ascension. So when you look at me, I'm also projection from your own perspective in your consciousness into your hologram. So that means that you and I are from the same particle, but a different version. So if I can do something, so can you, because I'm another version of you, like a mirror image, but another version. So that's why we're one. We're not separated. And that's why we need to help each other out, and we need to stay in the heart. Because that's why it can never be, here's manipulation, eye for an eye. And why is that? Because if you project me in your hologram and I'm you, you're watching yourself as a mirror image of me. Well, that mirror image is reflecting everything you do. So every thoughts, emotions, and deeds that you do is basically coming back to you because it's a mirror image of everything you do, think, and motion. So if this is the case, if you do eye for an eye, what are you going to do? You're going after your own self, reflect back to you, but because it's infinite probabilities in a structure, you never know how things will come in. If it's not from the same person that you went after, something will happen in your hologram to project something to give you a reflection of exact frequency that you end up projecting toward that image. So that means if we don't stay in a positive structure, and if you do negative stuff, negative is coming back to you because consciousness is a reflection of your thoughts, emotions, and deeds. And this is where the manipulation happens. I have to see it to believe it. That's a manipulation. I have to know it. I have to feel it to project it in a structure, to create the hologram, to crystallize it as action, to see it. Is the opposite, because you are the creator. Otherwise, what I'm doing is I'm standing in front of a mirror, and if you stand in front of a mirror and if you see your reflection, who is going to be the real person? The mirror image or you? You're going to say, well, I'm the real person. Then my question is, then why, when you watch a TV and when you watch something outside of you, you believe that that is true, when somebody can literally manipulate it and tell you what to believe, except for you to believe yourself. And to say, well, thank you for telling me how is the weather, but this is in your reality. Well, I want to create a beautiful weather. And I believe and I know that the weather is beautiful, even if I see the sky is dark. Then when you keep projecting on and on and on, and you're going to learn that in the quantum manifestation series, you're going to overwrite the frequency that somebody is giving you, and you're going to shift into a brand new hologram. You're basically going to create a new world that you're going to shift into that is only sunny. And this protocol is called the quantum manifestation protocol, because then you're going to know how to construct, see something, deconstruct it, and construct a brand new hologram of Earth that you're going to reproject everybody in it. In actuality, you don't change the people around you. You give it a gratitude because these people are fractal. There is no time. Every moment to moment to moment when you shift, you create a new Earth, and you shift and you create a new Earth, you project, and you shift every new moment into a new Earth, and you're reprinting every single person in it. But in order something not to repeat from the mirror image, you have to give a gratitude so you can block the frequency that they keep coming from the reflection. And that is a very specific way how to do that. Otherwise, they're going to keep coming and keep coming. You need to override it. And when you see a situation, anything that's happening around you, usually what is showing you, think of your reality as a hologram. Think of reality as an X and Y. The way how you do the X and Y, like X is 0 and Y is 3, and you go into the ladder. You know, this is how it is basically wherever you go, whatever you see, showing you location, latitude, altitude, and your hologram. So you can say, well, thank you. I see I'm here. I want to switch. But in order to switch, you have to know the proper emotion, the thought, and the deed in order to neutralize, so you can switch your hologram and create a brand new shift in the latitude, altitude. So if you learn how to disengage with the illusion that they've been telling you, and you say to yourself that you're a hologram, that you can create anything you wish, God you are, you're going to start manipulate the structure. And you're going to create anything you wish to. If you have to learn lessons, you're going to go through some kind of a lesson, but give a gratitude to that lesson, because the gratitude is neutralizing. Once you move the lesson, once you learn, you want the lesson to be positive outcome. No matter what somebody does to you, remember, is a reflection of your consciousness. What can I do to make the situation better? Because when you do that, you're going to override the negative and you're going to shift to a completely different reality. You're going to learn that in video number 3 of quantum manifestation. But don't skip, please, just study it. It's 1 hour video only on that. So basically, we can construct anything we wish to. I think the confusion here is happening for the fact that people, when you watch only certain type of TV and a mainstream media, this is exactly the platforms that created this matrix of reality, that illusion. And when you start really expanding your understanding in your consciousness and start really learning and see what resonates with you, because your higher self will definitely know. And there's another news. They did say that because it's the ascension process of the planet and the new frequencies, this is through the entire universe. Not only the planet Earth is ascending, but every single planet, Pleiadians, Arcturians, high consciousness, everybody is ascending. And because of that, it's a portal of 30 years of basically change. That's what they said, that basically the old infrastructures will collapse and the new infrastructures will come out. But how it's going to happen exactly, I don't know, because it's infinite of probabilities how things may happen. And that is accordingly to your own vibrational sequence. What that means is, depending on how well you learn, how well you behave, what did you do and what you accumulated through all your life, the ascension will be reflected accordingly to your own vibrational timeline. So if you were really nice, you will see positive outcomes of things coming. If you were really negative, basically what consciousness will do will match the negative structures. You're going to experience realities that are literally matching your consciousness vibration. Why? It's not a judgment. It's simply you do not match another sequence of vibration in order for you to see that channel. In order to see the channel, though, you have to start acting from the heart in order to see the higher structures of dimensions. And what they say is that every single person is existing in multiple realities of structures. Basically, you could be like living in the earth. Your other aspect of your soul can be living as Pleiadian. There could be another one living as Arcturian, a high consciousness. So what's going to happen is, if in earth you still have not woken up, and you're still going into greed, despair, manipulation, money, and all the stuff, money will be obsolete. We'll talk about that. Basically what's going to happen, your higher self will sabotage your plot from a hologram, and every single time you're going to try to manipulate, something will happen that all the manipulation is going to come up in the surface. That's because it's ascending and no longer will be allowed this to continue. And if you don't learn your lesson, you move into a different structure, you're not going to see ascension process. So that's why they said to me, even there's no white lie. They said, it doesn't matter you make a big lie or you make a very small lie. Lie is simply a lie because energy is energy, is not bias. The intention of it, what is important, and that's what's going to matter, which I think a lot of people don't understand. And why money will be obsolete? Because once we get the free energy technology that is being suppressed, and we have thousands of technologies that are absolutely ready to go. We just need different infrastructures of the planet to collapse in order all this to be released. It's a certain protocol, and I hope the white hats, I'm sure they're doing their job to happen in an easy transition, a smooth transition. Because I can tell you right now that we have from stem cells, I know people that can literally build new heart from your own stem cells, your facial, your kidney. And the only reason they could not do that yet is because the government of the FDA was not allowing the surgeons to implant, put a, transplant like this because of all money in child trafficking, that was done, billions of dollars. But what I'm saying to you is it doesn't matter what they were doing. It's important what your vibration is. So when you start knowing that this is changing in the name of humanity, all these platforms going to happen in the surface, and you're going to see how one thing is collapsing. By the time you turn around, you're going to hear, oh, new technology came out, something new, because what you did is you end up reconstructing and shifting yourself in the hologram of new earth that basically vibrated. You have to know it, that it's changing, and you have to know it, that it's here, but how, I never question anymore, because it's infinite of probabilities. And so if you know these structures, everything is possible for you. Nothing is off limits. Anything that you can think of is possible. Of course, if you want to be a butterfly right now and you don't turn into a butterfly, that's because it's not relevant to you, But I'm sure if it's necessary, they said this is necessary from the ETs to make a point to a person, they will do everything possible to make a point to a person, which I already seen situations that they will come and visit in another level. When it usually happens when you're least expecting contact. That's how it happens. Because if you have a test, the test is usually how you behave towards people. What do you do with people? A lot to do with the ego. If you manipulate people, they told me, and it's in the messages that I have, messages I'll show you. They said that we're going to go interstellar. There will be a timeline to go interstellar with the extraterrestrials. It's inevitable, because when the free energy technology comes out, we're going to start building the eco-cities that are self-sustainable. Look into Jack Frisco, which is the Venus Project. And they have eco-cities with technologies. It's phenomenal what this gentleman did. If we start building cities like this with free energy devices and stuff like this, eventually they're going to be self-sustainable. You don't need the monetary structure. Because the truth of the matter is electronic money, anybody can receive like a $1 million right now, pay off your bills. Nobody should put the money up, and we can free ourselves in a matter of a couple of months. But I'm sure this is probably not going to be the case. Because we still have to collapse the infrastructures that we're manipulating. And it's going to be a smooth transition. And they told me usually it's going to take like 30 years of everything to be to a place. And yet that doesn't mean that every individual, if it's meant to be for you to work with the ETs and get into a spacecraft, for example, that will be the case, because that's your agreement. Some people will work in a planet. Some people can literally shift to 5D, but that is all by agreements. And what is 5D? 5D is the new beginning. You're going to see the progress of all this stuff. It doesn't mean all of a sudden everything happens in advance, you're there and you don't have to do anything. We have to go through the transition of taking the action to convert everything and to help each other out and to do this stuff, because even in this moment of so-called helping, everything is connected with monetary structure. And the truth is that we need it until a certain aspect, until all the secrecies. But if tomorrow we move all the money out, the whole world will collapse. But if we start integrating and start helping each other and allow each other to start helping each other from the heart, it doesn't matter if it's with money or something else. Then they told me it's energy philanthropy that I launched, because they taught me, because energy philanthropy is allowing the person to support you as much as they want if they have. And that, they said, it's a freedom from your heart to teach yourself to support somebody. They said it's a completely different timeline that is not overtaking somebody's freedom of choice. Because if you go to somebody and say, oh, in order for me to see you, you have to pay $500 for me to help you. Yes, in a three-dimensional structure, this is normal. But we're going to 5D, which is the heart structure with quantum manifestation. That has to be by choice. More and more and more you start helping while you're paying your bills the way, for example, you do. You helping, you paying your bills, and when you pay your bills, I'm sure you give a lot of free stuff and you do stuff like that. This is how you're starting to integrate, because again, now that you have to do it, the choice is yours, because if you start vibrating in the structure, you're starting to see platforms of holographic realities based on that. If you want the abundance, you have to be projecting the abundance in order to see it. That's the whole truth. So I know it's challenging transition. You have money structure video number 4 of the quantum manifestation. And their suggestion was, while you're paying your bills, while you're doing your stuff, start integrating little by little, helping people from your heart without expectations of anything in return. If they decide to give you something, they can always give you, but let that be their choice, so you don't overtake somebody's consciousness. Yeah. So that basically it. So the structure, I'm giving you what they were giving. The latest thing again is the words, and that's very complex. I'm going to make a whole video. I'm going to explain, but I have to be in front of a board, because that is really, really complex. I have to actually break it down so everybody can understand it. Any questions?
I want to share something really quickly, a real life experience with this, where this just happened today. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and she's been saying for a few days now that she wants to get us some luck. So she's going to find some 4-leaf clovers, she's been kind of looking a little bit, but not finding them. But then today she found 3 4-leaf clovers in a row. So I just thought that was really, really cool, in alignment with what you're saying here. She said,
yeah, she manifested it.
She was going to do it, and she did it.
Because children are more acceptable to stuff like this. I understand even from my kids, when I start talking, they were totally open. They will say, oh, I had a dream with the ET, and the ET ended up saying this to me and said that to me. And I said, yeah, you actually did see it in another platform, because I want to prepare them for what's coming. It's inevitable. We cannot be the only planet in the whole wide world universe. There's a lot of, they're not negative, but in the structure is always positive and negative. If you vibrate in a positive, you create positive structure. So you're going to interact with the positive. I would never even put it in my consciousness. Not that negative thoughts don't come, but if you have a negative thought, you can always override it. Basically, you made a phone call, but the phone call was not exactly what you want. So you say, oh, thank you very much. I'm going to call again because I want to connect with something. And things like this happen to me. But I never got a fear, because the fear is the one, at the moment you project fear, what is fear? Vibrational sequence and sound. What does that do? Open up a portal and give you probabilities of entities and realities and situations to happen to you accordingly to that vibration. It's like a channel of TV. That an HBO could be, or Lifetime. You know, Lifetime is usually certain movies that go there. Well, I want to go to Comedy Central because I want to laugh all the time. Well, I won't get there if I don't know the sequence to get there. All that, you know, that you press in this, you click in the channels, all that is based on specific frequency. That's how you get to the channel.
So could you tell us a little bit about, I know you say, you know, that the modern world we're living in is an illusion. Could you speak a little bit more about that?
Well, yes, because it's a hologram. Anything you see, even if you take your phone right now when you touch it, actually is a vibrational sequence of magnetic and gravitational field. Well, if I hypnotize you and I said that the phone is not there, you're not going to see it. Everybody may see it, you will not see it. Because I literally told you consciousness that is not there, and in your hologram, the frequency of the phone is gone. How do you think hypnosis happened? This is exactly how the hypnosis happened. Because everything you see is actually magnetic and gravitational field that is specific density, and actuality feels real to you, but it's not. It's actually plasmatic gravitational field, magnetic and gravitational field. When you have a dream and you dream something and somebody's touching you, don't you feel it? How many times we felt that? Well, it's absolutely the same thing. Actually, what they told me, that your dreams are basically another platform reality is this one. There's no difference. The sequence of the dream is different, but not the illusion, because that dream, why do we do lucid dreaming? I did lucid dreaming. I woke up and every single time I knew to open up a portal. I opened up a portal, went in, I wanted to go to the spacecraft, and twice I was not allowed to get in. I was told I'm not allowed to be there because I have to do it from another platform. Some people may be allowed. That's why practice. If you want to practice lucid dreaming. Learn about lucid dreaming. I always recommend Nick Barrett. You can go to my website, marinajacobi.com. And you're basically going to see in my store different books I put there. I don't make anything from there. I just put it there because I know people always ask me. And every day I guarantee the books. But I've read 2 of the books, and within 2 weeks I train myself. Watch the videos, train yourself, because you don't know for your own consciousness what would be the level for you to connect. Some people would do, but don't forget, I went through automatic writing. Then they taught me telepathic connection. Then I trained for lucid dreaming. I went through every step of the way, you know, because I was curious. I wanted to know. Yet when it's meant to be to connect in another level, they will. They said no matter what you do, when the moment is right, you're going to have the connection. In the meantime, your journey is important, because through the journey, you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining access to different modalities of creation. And that's why you're here. If this is the case, that we don't have to do anything, you're going to be asking the teacher to give you the answers all the time. Well, why are you in school? Why did you come? You came for experience, because the toughest souls and the most experienced souls came for ascension process. So don't think that I'm more. I'm simply ahead of the class because I'm learning also. But what I did is to stick with the knowledge and really implement it from the heart. And that was the difference. So if we all do that for each other, imagine the realities and the constructions of worlds you for yourself going to create if you go into the heart structure. Why? Because we may all see each other ascension, but how you can experience ascension is only individual, and yet collective. Collective is we all go into ascension, and yet, Jocelyn, you live in your own life, your own family. How come I have a different family? If this was not the case, then why I'm now living the same way you do? That means is a reality within the reality, infinite. Every single person is experienced collectively ascension, but how are you going to experience is accordingly to everything you've learned, did, and how much more you want to expand your consciousness. It's all by a choice. Because like long time ago, we had a grid around planet Earth that there was no way for us to be able to expand, because that vibrational grid was stopping everybody ascending. Right now, the grids are down. And this happened like last year, the year before. I have a video on that. and we were allowed to create, allowed to do all this stuff, that means you're free. You're absolutely free. What you see is the illusion, the process of ascension, but you're free. So don't think that all these people that doing in the governments and stuff like this is all a projection in a monitor that somebody is feeding you. Actually, somebody is projecting something in your mirror image and is telling you that it's true. But who is true? You are. So take your sovereignty back. You don't have to listen to the mirror image. Create your own mirror image. Right?
Yeah. So thank you. So all of us in this group, and it's 10 of us all together, are very, very committed to this, you know, very, very committed to really letting go of old realities, you know, what we can clearly see when we look from our heart is illusion. So what recommendations do you have for us then as we want to move forward in this work? And I know you mentioned that you, I think you said you made a commitment or you made a decision to ascend. So how can we step into that, and how can we, you know, disconnect from the old illusion and then connect with the new existing structure?
You have to go within the heart first. That means, what can you do to make this person feel good? To drop the illusion of the ego, to drop the illusion of the money. You have to let go of the money. You cannot keep doing stuff for money. It has to be in the name of humanity. And through that process, you're going to be able to project realities so humanity to support you from their heart. And that is very challenging. I'm not asking everybody to do it the way I did, but it's a platform how all of us can start doing it. So you can see the reality of abundance. Then study the quantum structure of manifestation. The reason why I'm saying, because for my structure of manifestation, because I went through it physically. I was taught hands-on. Nothing that is in these platforms are basically something that I didn't study. I was taught hands-on. So nobody can tell me that this is impossible, because if anybody knows my story, I started with nothing. I had a very difficult situation and I started helping to people without knowing how I'm going to support myself and what to do. And now, because of one thing in a quantum structure, if you keep projection, giving, and giving, what are you doing? You're projecting the frequency vibration of giving and shooting that into the structure around you. Well, because it's a reflection of a mirror image, has to come back to you. So I accumulated so much of giving for 2 years, was nonstop helping. I had no idea who is donating, who is not donating, what's happening. I was just there to help, no matter how challenging that was. And I have videos of quantum manifestation, what happened, how I manifested to the point that we had like $6,000 came in out of the blue from my husband's job from 2 years so we can fix the leaky roof. I mean, literally crazy stuff, but this was not crazy. This was manifestation. But I was taught how to do it. You have to drop the fear. The fear is probably number one that is giving you to project that, and it will stop you from manifesting. Because, oh my God, how am I going to do that? And you need to understand that in a quantum structure, everything is to infinite of probabilities. If you project that frequency, there is no way that is not going to come back to you. But the fear of the fact that we were manipulated is actually what is overpowering you, because you are taught that you have to see it to believe it. In actuality, you have to feel it, project it, in order to construct it to be a reality. Is the opposite. And that requires repetition of practicing, of overcoming your fears in a daily basis. What they taught me, if right now I'm talking to you, no matter what I say to you, what I do to you, how I feel towards you, I have to give, I'm quoting this, have to give 100% from my heart to you without expectations. Because they said, because right now, you guys are my entire universe. Nothing else exists. And accordingly, how I behave, think and act towards you, that's what I'm projecting as a frequency and what I'm shifting into the next momentum of a holograph. So that is fundamental. So they said to me, time is no time, everything is fractal. So if I teach myself every moment to be the best of myself from my heart with the best of my abilities towards no matter who the person is, without thinking of money or anything else, that means that this is accumulating and this is what I'm shifting the next momentum into, and what I'm creating a systematic frequency vibration of tonality on and on and on, and I'm shifting to new earth and a new earth and a new earth, and I'm creating a permanent timeline that is on and on and on and on, and all of a sudden I crystallized it so much that became a matter. And that's why it's fundamental for us to do it nonstop, no matter how challenging it is, without thinking of how, because that will give you the probability for all this stuff, because this is exactly what happened when I was helping. Reluctantly, I was helping because I was panicking in the beginning. What am I doing? I was acting like a crazy person. You're going to listen to the stories that I went through. And all of a sudden they said, you did it. And it was like an avalanche of people. Oh my God, to the point that literally August, guys, was my freedom. But because we became friends with Jocelyn, and I literally, said, okay. And I'm literally have 2 webinars this August, because needed to recharge, because it's so much of giving, is so much. You need to calm down a bit. And I don't want to feel the pressure. I want to feel that when I do this, I feel the joy and not the pressure. And that is fundamental for me, because it's not about the money. When I receive gifts, yes, I love it because I know it's from the hearts of people and I never gave a condition to. And that is a different feeling. I wish all of you to experience that. All of you, when you do job for somebody and just like that, because you love the human being, when you receive a gift, it doesn't matter if it's money or anything else, trust me, it feels like it's a different feeling. Because I had a man that called me and said, I was so eager to donate to you that I never experienced anything like this in my life. Thank you for teaching me to give something from my heart. And not that way they were talking was a different vibration. And when people say thank you, they really say thank you from their heart. Well, what is that thank you? Is a frequency vibration. Then what am I doing, guys? I am collecting vibrational sequence towards me that is constructing my hologram. But that vibrational sequence is projected first and foremost from me into the quantum structure in order to reflect back to me the way I want it. Here's your manifestation. And always going to come the way you want it, exactly when you want it. Sometimes you don't know how it's going to happen because it's infinite, but you're going to learn how to implement that in your daily basis. And more you give, all of a sudden, by the time you turn around, this person finds you, and you're going to have miracles. Because I had situations of finding somebody's phone number, and they tell me, and end up being one of the biggest scientific webinars in the world. I had no idea. The guy told me, how'd you find me? I said, well, I saw your phone number on the internet. He said, Marina, you calling on my cell phone. I don't have my cell phone in my website. And he didn't. So what happened is, what I did actually, I projected the hologram that I can connect exactly what I needed. This is the miracles can happen for everybody. If you really learn to trust, because what I did is I projected and created the hologram exactly of what I needed. So if somebody tells you, oh, there's so many things happening, they're telling you their own perspective from their own holographic reality. That doesn't mean it has to be yours. So I can tell you anything. And if somebody asks me, oh, should I marry this person? What you ask me is probability. I can tell you anything I want. I can manipulate you if I want. And I'll say, oh, you're not going to marry. So you're going to listen to this projection. And you're really not going to do something about it to marry this person. This is how manipulation can happen. I want you to learn from me the way I was taught, the quantum structure of your creation. Because once you learn the alchemy of your creation, you don't need anybody like me. You become your own master. My health for everybody is to become their own master. So you don't need me to tell you what your reality should be. I want you to learn how to construct your own realities. And that's the biggest mastery, for you to be your own creator, because you are the creator. There's nobody outside of you. And the end.
Yeah, thank you so much. So could you tell us a little bit more about, you mentioned that the money structures are going to break down.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Well,
and also anything else that feels important to you to share, go right ahead.
Okay, what they were saying, that we're going to go into digital. I don't know how and when exactly. I would always have some cash in my house, just in case I know that the conversion will happen smooth, because that's what I want to believe and that's what I'm going to project. So I would never put it's going to be a big distraction. At the moment I do that, and I'm going to shoot a vibrational sequence for everybody and everybody can go to fear. No, I'm going to say to you that the transition is smooth, because I want you to believe and project this type of a sequence of reality for yourself. How is this going to happen? We don't know, because you need certain structure to collapse, new to come in, but everything is in the name of humanity, because what they told me, we already did the tipping point. Basically, we accumulated so much positive frequency that is no more turning backwards. Then the other thing, I'm quoting stuff here, they said that anybody from the negative structure that will continue doing negative stuff, they're going to be stopped to infinite in every corner. Basically, they're not going to be able to make it. No matter what they try to do. Why? Because consciousness itself has to survive. If it's off balance, cannot just continue being off balance and destroy itself. Had to balance itself. So that's why all these negative structures, they will collapse. They will think of something, all the stuff is going to happen. So the next couple of years, what I can tell you is to expect absolute governmental structures will come in a surface, the ones that are doing manipulation, and you're going to see humanity rising. And it's going to be to so much will come up in a surface that it will be inevitable for humanity to wake up of the deep trance and see the truth. I don't know how and I don't know when. Okay, exactly. And what platforms, but basically I'm just going to sit back and watch the show because I know what's already happening, but the ones that are still asleep is going to be a rough ride for some of them, because they still believe that there's no pedophiles in the churches, or, all the stuff, human trafficking and all the stuff, because they've been in the mainstream media screen all the time and being completely brainwashed. So this is the people that are going to have a hard awakening, but at least they're going to awaken. And once they said humanity wakes up, then you're going to see all the new infrastructure. So the next couple of years, you're going to see absolute rising on all the structures that are going to come in the open and humanity is going to see. Then we have, they said they're going to help with some kind of a storms at 2020. Also, it will be galactic presentation, but I don't know who is going to see it, who it won't, because the other thing that they said, that they are been watching absolutely everybody. For example, the harmonic reactor material that they gave me, they said it's just a speck of the iceberg, basically very little speck of the iceberg, and humanity and all the people to start working together. Because what they said right now, and I'm quoting, they said your fame and glory will not be the criteria for us. What is going to be the criteria? How you acting with people and what you do in the name of humanity. Because what they said, they're so advanced in technology that they will give brand new technology, new stuff to the chosen people, whoever probably passed the test with them. And because they can come in and construct and deconstruct a city in one day, guys, with nanoparticles. They're little nanobots that basically literally construct and can make a whole city in a day. And I know how this could be done. So it's incredible technology. There's technologies, for example, that I know that are basically can literally construct your molecular structure back to normal. If you lose your arm, you're going to put the AI, basically fifth dimensional structure computer with a human codon DNA, and will measure your frequency of your body and literally rebuild brand new arm for you, which is not going to be constructed from metal the way they're trying to do the Archon structure. It's going to be literally mimicking your own structure on frequency, because the body is a pure vessel of consciousness itself. You don't need metal. Metal has a different spin, a vibrational sequence, and does not recognize consciousness itself, but can work with your own structure in the name of humanity.
Okay. Well, I welcome you to share, before we go to the Q&A, anything that you would like to about how to access your books, or anything else that you want.
Oh, yes, I will share the screen
from your work.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, you going to marinajacobi.com, and here are the books. Basically, I'm coming out with the third book, which is all the messages. And if you click download, and you literally go into the books. Now, if you don't have any money, you don't have to donate. If you wish to support my work, here is for you. You can donate if you wish to. When you click download, I made it in such a way so people don't feel uncomfortable if they don't have the money. You can just click here, download, and immediately it's going to open to the book itself. Okay, I did it in the name of humanity, and I appreciate every support I get, of course, because I have a family. But if you don't have anything, I'm here for you in any shape and form. And this is the story. You're going to see the reason why I would like for you to read is because the entire book is written on fifth dimensional structure frequency, and is rewiring your synapses, your DNA, and that's why some of the words don't make sense. But the reason is because I was not allowed to change one word to replace. And that's because they needed to, this is actually regarding teleportation, to import portal, and the time portal will teleport you to vibrational sequence accordingly to your own vibrational sound. I already talked with scientists, they know about it. We discuss a lot about that. This is all possible. So this is the structures that they gave me. With me, I will think of something and the image is there, and I take the pencil and I write it down. And when scientists are asking me, I basically have the answer for whatever, structures. So this is basically one of the, the materials. I would definitely suggest for you guys to completely, watch it. And nanotechnology is also talking about the one particle. Also, please read it. I have events coming very soon. I have 5D. 5D, this is in Denver from October 19th to the 21st. This is very scientific with all the scientists. I'm going to present a lot of material. I'm going to talk a lot about the book, and specifically of AI, artificial intelligence, but it's fifth dimensional structure. And I have basically Ways of Light. This is a 5-day cruise that, we're going to do. If you want to, sign in, is based on energy philanthropy. I don't make any money out of it. Actually, I had to pay some of it, which I wouldn't do a second time like that. But at least you can come in, and that will be, for example, Nicole Florek is an incredible person. This is the people that really did the stuff. So if you want to participate in this stuff, please do. I don't like traveling that much, depending on the person, because I literally do it because I love it. It's not about to try to make money and stuff like that. So I definitely, you have books here when you, this is the books, and you have the store. You have all the books here that I strongly recommend for you guys to, well, I don't see the books for some reason. Something happened. Oh, okay, here they are. And you have the books here that basically you can see raw foods and anything that I strongly suggest for you guys to look into. You have Dolores Cannon's books, stuff that Celestine Prophecy actually talk about shifting of realities. That's amazing. This was a long time ago. Raw food art, if you want to go into raw food, strongly suggest this book from Alexander Winters. And you also have the detox protocol in my videos. When you scroll all the way down, you can put the emailing list if you want to subscribe. You have Quantum Manifestation series is right here. When you click, all the videos are there, and you have the detox series. All that is going to show you how I detox, because I was taught the detox from the extraterrestrials. They guided me. So everything you see here, I went through. You're going to have all the messages. Click here, and you're going to start seeing all the messages that the ETs in the higher consciousness gave me for humanity. So you're going to listen direct messages, and there's so many of them. If you start listening to them, you know, it's a lot of them, which I'm going to put in the book because a lot of people wanted to read it. So that's basically is. And if you want a private session, click to book a session, and, you know, whatever you wish to. So this is basically it. If you guys have more questions, please let me know. And that's my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You click the videos, and you're gonna see all the videos that I had. This particular videos right here, they're the Quantum Manifestation series too. We separated them. That's for Master Active. I discuss one video that is talking, this is with the scientist that I talk a lot. And so there's a lot of videos here that I did, basically, that you guys are gonna benefit from. But the most important is the Quantum Manifestation series, because it's teaching you the quantum structure and how you can actually construct and deconstruct everything. That's about it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Marina.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions? Anything that you would like to ask Marina?
Go ahead.
I just unmuted you, Taria. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Marina. Thank you so much, Marina. This is just
Thank
a
you.
lot. I'm really looking forward to going through your step-by-step and really trying to get, like you said, I really appreciate how you said you just do it step-by-step and you can really start to understand this. So, so I trust you on that. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So you know, this may be elementary. I don't know, but over the summer, the planetary situation in terms of the climate change seems to be becoming more like people are becoming more and more aware that this is really a situation we've gotten ourselves into. And there are parts of the country where the temperatures on a day-to-day and all night have been 110. And so the temperatures are just rising. It's like the planet is just sort of on fire and burning. And so how do you think about what we can do to stay, you know, in response to healing, you know, not only ourselves. I mean, if my family were living where the temperatures are 110 degrees and I'm trying to keep everybody alive and hydrated and whatever, what do we do?
Okay. I'm going to answer it from the quantum structure, because if you understand what's happening here, you will realize that it's just an illusion. If anybody is projecting that the temperatures are rising and just as far as there, what are they projecting into your consciousness? What they're projecting in your consciousness is fear. So once you drop into fear, you started to reproject realities based on that fear. So except for you to see the planet is healing and new things are coming that is cleaning with the new technologies, cleaning the planet, you're going to see more stuff happening of the same. So what you're going to say, thank you for showing me what's happening in this latitude altitude. You're going to study this in a quantum manifestation series. You're going to neutralize, because what you see is simply a holographic image. But that holographic image doesn't have any power over you if you don't allow to believe that this is 100% true. So you say thank you for the image, because you cannot reject your own structure, because remember, even that image is a projection of your own consciousness. There's nobody outside of you. You project in that screen. But you say thank you very much for showing me, and now I know that the planet is beautiful. The planet is healthy. How is going to get healthy? How the planet is beautiful? How the things will happen? Leave that open to the field itself to do its job. Your job is to construct the platform of that image. And then when you put the emotion into it, now this too becomes plasmatic and gravitational field. And you're going to hold that image and that emotion of joy that the planet is healthy, visualize it, look at it, smell it, feel it. Because what you're doing is you're starting to construct in your consciousness a brand new holographic earth. Mm-hmm. And if you feel that moment to moment to moment, even if you see negative stuff as shown, remember, it's a mirror. It's not you. You construct the image of this new hologram. You construct the feeling towards the planet. And no matter what you see, you're going to keep overriding it with a positive feeling. Put pictures with the beautiful metals. Put picture with the clean water. Smell the air. Look at the birds. Look at the beautiful blue sky with a paint something, and take an action to physical. Mm-hmm. What you're going to be doing is going to construct a brand new hologram to become so much potent and vibration that all of a sudden when you take the action, you're going to shift into a brand new earth that you're going to see the changes in a positive. That's the goal. Because I want you to construct your hologram of earth and not to believe in a mirror image that is the manipulation to keep you in a lower vibration. That is the goal of the negative. You are winning the battle when you become your own creator and you construct your own earth, fifth dimensional earth, without allowing the illusion anymore to control you. That is in a different timeline. You create your own. And one state. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I mean, I still struggle with the fact that, you know, Practice. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are living in these temperatures right now.
Yeah, but who are these thousands of people?
They're all over the western part of this country.
No, their projection in your hologram. Mm. These thousands of people, every single person is being given a permission for themselves to experience something. You may go through storm, which I was told because I went one of the biggest storms that ever happened, but I didn't have electricity, but I had water. Every time I would get out, I will find gas, even they were saying there's no gas anywhere. I get out, was hardly anybody. The store I went in, the entire store, there were 5 people with everything. I was literally living in my own bubble. And in the meantime, I'm hearing disasters. I just kept the positive. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what you may go through. You may go through a storm because you chose that experience, but every single corner you decide to do something and you stay in a positive by giving a gratitude that something you have to go through, you will find a bridge or situation to give you exactly what you need in that particular momentum, because you don't know that you didn't choose to be in the storm so you can help your neighbors and you can do something else, because you have to stay with the vibrational sequence to be the beacon of the light so people can find their way. Mm-hmm. So think of it this way. Always hold the frequency of the heart. Always be the example. Because if you're the example, that's what you create in return. So it doesn't matter if you're going to go. We know right now, all of us, that some people are in a war, something else is happening. But that's because that's what they chose to experience through the platforms. It's always a choice. Because some people, believe it or not, came to this earth to sacrifice themselves so the rest of humanity can wake up. That's why it cannot be a judgment towards the most evil person or judgment to the person that is being abused, because they're exactly there when they need to be, because it's chosen to be. Even the person that is being the most abused and the person that is being the biggest manipulator. Because everybody is part of the consciousness itself, but energy is not biased. If you get off balance through your choices, you're going to recycle back to the essence and start rebuilding again. So basically all these people, it's projection in your hologram for ascension process.
Okay.
So you hold the vibration, and accordingly to that, you're going to see all of a sudden changes. Even if somebody suffered, even if something happened, know that they're exactly where they need to be. You can feel compassion. You can help. You can send money for somebody that is suffering. Of course. But know that it's being chosen for them to experience. Because some, believe it or not, planet Earth was very difficult to come in as a soul because it's ascension. Anybody that is in ascension of planet Earth is a big deal. You know, because it's one of the toughest planets that went into the darkness to come out in the light. And that needs mastery of creation to be able to get out. So thanks to all of you. Welcome to graduation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing wonderful. Look what you listen to. Look what you're projecting. The eagerness to learn is holding you in the vibrations of fifth dimensional sequence. Hold the vibration, no matter what you see. Even the most evil person, it's another version of you. How can I reject my other version? Learning a lesson. Thank you. I feel compassion for you that you went so much in the darkness that now you cannot get out of your own reflection. And that's how I think. I stop judging. Don't get me wrong. I get upset sometimes, but I've learned that is the control that I was mentioning. Control. Recognize that you drop your emotion to negative and bring it back to positive by taking action. What can I do to make it? Oh my God, I'm so angry. What can I do? Go and watch a positive movie. Watch a fragment of a video that you know is going to bring your emotion into positive. Laugh about it. And once you calm down completely and you level your emotion from anger to relaxing and stuff, then make the decision, because that is going to shift your timeline. You're going to see a different outcome in your hologram. And I've learned to do that in a hard way. Constantly control, because remember, it's fractal. What are you feel right now? How you act right now? Even if you have a neighbor that disturbed you, be the bigger person. Don't put your ego. Go ahead and say, I understand we had a misunderstanding. People are different. And be political. Be in order to shift, not to put your ego in, because I knew if I put my ego in, I would have had a different outcome. I don't want that. I want to neutralize it and have a positive outcome. What I'm going to do after that, that is a different story. But at least I've tried my best to remedy the situation. Once you do that, if they choose to continue being negative, you've done your job. Let it be, because you projected the positive. Don't try to change the something that is outside of you, because it's just a hologram. You change yourself, and accordingly to that, you're going to shift to holograms of new earths that you're going to reprint, and you're going to have a different outcome, or at least will give you the probability what you can do next will be a choice, which way to go. And it's going to show you the path. A lot of people tell me, I don't know what to do. Well, you have to find the most passionate thing that you love to do. And don't expect fame and glory. Imagine you helping massive amount of people, but don't do it. Oh my God, I'm so important. Look at me, everybody. And this goes into an ego now. And that is a different vibration. Let it be, enjoy, give, and it's a different feeling, because anybody that is giving back to you is going to be like a reverse osmosis like this. all the time. And more you do, you're going to turn around, the right person is here. You're going to need something, somebody came in, you're going to think of, I had situations that I would just think, oh my God, I got to pay probiotic for my son. What am I, I'm thinking that within a half an hour, I had somebody sending me $250. Was exactly almost the money I needed for my son's probiotics. And I start crying because I saw constant manifestation of the stuff that I was doing. It was just a thought. And believe it or not, the biggest manifestation happened when it was for my kids, because it's pure. Because I set one particle of place. Because even if sometimes you do sessions, the truth is, I'm not going to be lying, pretend that I'm more than everybody else. You still think how you support your family. But what I started doing, I was telling Jocelyn, constantly writing a flower for every session, because I didn't want to think of the money. I wanted to think of helping. And if I received something, I was happy. That's what I was doing, because I wanted to control the illusion of thinking constantly of that and being in fear. How does that sound, ladies?
Yeah.
Good.
So Pamela and Ellie, do you want to ask Marina anything? Go ahead, Ellie.
Hi, Marina.
Hi, Ellie.
It's lovely to meet you. And
you.
I just love what you're saying about the heart and giving from the heart. I really feel that from you and your passion.
Thank
you. Thank you for talking about that. My question, I've got a couple, and I'll keep it brief, but I was interested in, so you talk about how we project our reality with our thoughts and sort of our energy output. What if we're sort of stuck in a perpetual state of fear, and we have sort of fearful thoughts that we have little control over, and then we start to kind of blame ourselves and we get into this cycle?
That, I call it the loop. You constantly looping in the same situation, in the same similarities are happening over and over again. That means that you keep reprojecting the same sequences of vibration, emotional matrix, and you creating over and over similar situations. The only way to do that, if you really, really train yourself of constantly recognizing that you drop your emotion and disengage yourself of the situation. If you have to go out, if you have to dress up and do something, put something positive, do something physical to stop the emotion of negativity and replace it with physical something that is relevant to you. Dress up, go out, put new lipstick, buy a new hat, anything. If you have to listen to that person this 10 minutes 50 times, anything to bring your emotion of fear and stop, anything you listen to zero, to calmness. Fundamental, because the emotion is the vibration. And you're not allowing the positive to override it and start feeling positive because you're so much in shock. You need to do something physical to remove yourself out of the environment or the situation to override it. When you're completely calm, breathe in and start now interacting with the positive by imagining positive, feeling positive, and finally take an action by knowing that you already have it, because manifestation is in the now. You don't want to say, I'm going to, I will, oh, the weather will be nice. I want you to feel that the weather is nice. I want you to feel that you have whatever you want right now, because the vibration of feeling of right now is what you're projecting in order to crystallize. If you say, I will, maybe, I'm doubting, this is exactly what you're projecting, and keep waiting things to happen. Your feeling has to be in the now, and you have to teach yourself to switch your emotion from negative to positive, because what you're switching is frequencies. And accordingly to these frequencies, realities and timelines. Training is number one. Does that make sense, Allie?
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you.
Yes, sure. I've done it, believe me. It took me 40 minutes to remove myself When I sat down between nature, and for 45 minutes, I was listening to 7 minutes video that I knew was not mine. I was listening to somebody else over and over and over again. When I completely calmed down, then I went back and I started talking, and I knew I shifted, because it would have been disaster. I had so much anger.
A bit of time, but
yeah, you have to remove yourself physically if it's really bad.
Okay.
Just everybody is individual, but when it's bad, and if it's not that, then do something physical. I would dress up and go out. Sometimes I go up really nicely dressed to whatever store. I go to Whole Foods or whatever. It's not super fancy like I'm going to a wedding or with a nightgown, but I did that too with a friend of mine. I told her, grab your stuff at 10 in the morning, come with your high heels and a gown, and we were dancing at 12 noon. In my house. And she told me, the only crazy person will be you. I said, well, we have fun, don't we? Because you don't need a drink or be at nighttime in order to have fun. That's what I wanted to prove to her.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask one more question. I don't want to take up all the time, but I was really interested when you said about the Venus project. So I was just wondering if there's anything else you wanted to say about that we're allowed to know about.
Well, I don't know how everybody is going to experience, because there will be a shifting of timeline. Some people will start interacting with the ETs and working with them in the name of humanity. I don't know to what level, what are the connections. You have to hold the vibration, especially if you're going to stay on spacecrafts. And some people will be helping humanity with the new structures and convert everything. So I think that is individual for everybody. To what extent, I can't tell you, because it requires a lot, and it's depending on what the decisions are from the guidance ETs and the higher consciousness. Is collective actually decision, how much we've done and what you're doing. And I know that they can change bylaws of the person, depend how well you've been doing on the planet Earth. They can give you you can go into higher hierarchy. Don't think that when you graduate here, you don't graduate in a lot of places. You do. And you've been given more permissions and more levels. I don't know exactly. I just heard a couple. I know for myself what's going on. But for some other people could be similar. I don't know their bylaws. So that was interesting, because above the ETs is also higher consciousness, and they can change. Basically, whatever agreement you did, they can change it. That's what they said to me. If you've done, for example, something heroic, you were in a very dark and you decide, no more, I don't care, I'm doing something for humanity, they will give you a platform and will do anything possible for you to ascend. I've heard that. They were actually warning and asking for that. I have a video on that, I believe. I don't know which video. There's so many. But electronic videos, you're going to see them. You're going to listen. If you listen, it's very interesting, because it's giving the progression. If you start from the beginning of the posting of the electronic videos, you're going to see the progression of more and more stuff happening. That was interesting to listen to it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ellie, for your question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Marina.
Thank you, Ellie.
Pamela, did you want to ask anything? I know you do.
I do. Well, one, I want to comment first. This was, great. I mean, it was just exactly what I needed. I've been telling my group I've been reading and really connecting with the Lemurians. And last night I was reading, just make it short, this guy is channeling, and his book is just awesome. And anyway, his chapter that I was reading last night was, I mean, yours is deeper, way deeper than him, but some of this was the same of, making your choice, and, the small ego, the higher ego, and everything. And I won't get into all that, but a lot of it was similar So my comment question, I don't know how do you want to say this, but and as you were talking, he had talked about butterflies, you brought up butterflies, you brought up the ego, he was talking about ego. Anyway, all that synchronicity. So am I projecting? I mean, what is that with synchronicity? Because I have
It
found
was perfect for you because was basically literally showing you that you're on the right path. And basically what I said was a projection in your hologram to give you assurance that you were listening the right stuff. Usually my material is for the people that are really ready for understanding the mechanics. Without the mechanics of the structure and how it's implemented, you cannot master manifestation. It's still gonna something missing because you're not gonna know. When you start learning the quantum structure, you will realize why I'm saying this, because it's very specific. You can skip some of the stuff. You have to be very, that's what I said, study like you're going to college, get a book for each chapter in 10 minutes, repetition until it crystallizes, move forward. Because once you get a situation, you're gonna know exactly what to do. And that's how you're going to master your reality. Because the way Ellie was talking, your biggest challenge, I promise you, will be the shifting of the emotion. This is with everybody, including with me. And the shifting the emotion is shifting of realities because it's different channel. Every channel has its own frequency. Well, if you don't know how to shift the emotion, you keep projecting the same, you're staying in the same channel. You can go to Hallmark, for example. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Marina.
Oh, thank you.
Time for us. I know you have a very busy schedule, and so we really, truly appreciate this time.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for having me again. It was very nice and lovely women. You guys doing great, and thank you for being part of my hologram.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you.
I'm glad we have a recording because we can listen to this over and over again. And yeah.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Please send me the link so I can tell my husband in US to post it. I'm located in Europe right now. I went to Bulgaria.
Okay,
so,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yes, I will.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Love to everybody.
Love to you, Marina.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love to everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.